Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Spear Football Preview. I'm your host, Ryan Carlson, alongside Derek Al, Max Miller, and Candace Farmer. Football's back this week. The Spartans will travel north to Boise State to take on the Broncos, a team that San Jose State has never beaten, with an all-time record against the Broncos of 0-14, both in Boise and in San Jose combined. So will this be the week? We shall see. The last time the Spartans went 5-0 to start a season was back in 1939. When the team went a perfect 13-0 that season. So big game coming up this week, everyone.
Yeah, Ryan. I mean, it's a huge game. This is pretty much the biggest game, probably the biggest game of the year to this point. I mean, it is to this point, but I mean, it probably is the biggest game of the year just for the entirety of the season. I mean, both teams are number one in the Mountain West. Boise State, 4-0 in the conference. Same with San Jose State. Both teams looking with no Fresno State game last week, which, would have been a good indicator of how we stack up against the top teams in the Mountain West. I'm not saying that the teams we haven't played weren't legitimate wins. It was just, these are the top teams. If the Spartans want to win the Mountain West and go to the Mountain West Championship game and go to a bowl game, they have to beat Fresno State and they have to beat Boise State. Well, Fresno State's out of the way, and it's not San Jose State's fault for not playing that game. But this is an even bigger game than it was supposed to be last week. It's not a rivalry, but it could be the new rivalry if these teams continue to be good. Huge game for Brett Brennan in the squad, and it's going to be tough. And they've, this is it. This is what they wanted to start for, is to be able to compete in this game.
Yeah, I agree with you, Max. And by the way, happy Thanksgiving to all of you from our families to our Spartan family watching outside on the YouTube universe. This is probably one of the I know we keep saying it in our Spear meetings. This is the biggest game of Brett Brennan's career. This is the biggest game of the Brennan era. And this is one of them. They're going to the blue turf. They have not beaten Boise State. They're 0-14. So it's going to be a close contest. And guess what? It's on network TV, folks. You don't have to go to Hulu, all this, streaming stuff, the illegal streaming stuff, by the way. Network TV. So how about that? First time since 2006, and it deserves a network TV spot. And it's going to be a fantastic game over the weekend while you guys eat your Thanksgiving leftovers. And by the way, do it at home. Don't do it at a party. Have a party on Zoom maybe for the Spartan game, but just stay at home, okay?
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure you're all super excited as well. I kind of even have some pregame jitters myself, almost like I'm about to get out on the field. But it's definitely a huge game. I mean, it was disappointing, with last week not being able to play against Fresno State. But, of course, I'm glad that, they were able to catch that and following all those coronavirus guidelines. But like Derek mentioned, it's going to be huge because it's on, national, TV. So I'm excited for the Spartans, and I hope that it's a good game. Boise State is definitely a tough team, so it should be very interesting.
Most definitely some Thanksgiving week football coming up on Saturday. It'll be nationally televised. Should be a great one. And no game last week, as Candace mentioned, as there were some COVID-19 scares within the Fresno Bulldogs team and group over there. So we weren't able to see the Battle of the Valley Trophy this season. There's no intent to reschedule that game. But during the San Jose State press conference on Monday, head coach Brent Brennan, he said it didn't feel like a bye week at all with the way they were practicing and preparing for the game, which is what they are doing this week as well, practicing and preparing, watching a lot of film. He said that his team, is dressed up in shoulder pads out on the field and watching some film on the Jumbotron of Boise State and preparing for the game that way. So they're excited to get back to the field. It'll be the Smurf turf, a blue field up in Boise. We'll see how the Spartans perform there. And there will also be quite a large crowd on hand given the COVID guidelines. So how will that affect the play and the Spartans showing on the field in Boise?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting with the fans. It'll be interesting to see how the play calling will go. Audibles at the line. It'll be the first time really we're going to have to see what Nick Starkel or Nick Nash or both of them, they're both going to play. They're going to be able to do at the line with fans yelling at them. It's going to be hard. Was it about 30% capacity? I don't know the total number, but it's going to be interesting. And against a team of Boise State's caliber, it's going to be a tough matchup. Boise State, who's averaging 38 points per game compared to San Jose State's 29.2 points per game. So it's about a 10 points per game offensively difference. But however, here's the thing: is San Jose State's only allowing about 15 points per game So if they can hold the magic number, I would say for Boise State, if they can hold them down to under 30, they've got a good chance of winning. Blue turf, I think it'll be interesting. I'm kind of hoping San Jose State wears white so they can see their players pretty easily. White or gray, whatever, not blue. They don't want to blend in here. They don't want to look like Boise State. They want to stand out and prove to people why they're not a pretender. They want to be contenders this year. And with fans, I think one of two things could happen. They could either get really fired up and play well, or they're going to let it get to them. So let's hope the former happens.
Yeah, Coach Brennan said Boise State plays a clean game with little mistakes, and Boise State has a very talented personnel. So it'll be about focusing on the turnover margin and limiting the San Jose State turnovers for Coach Brennan. And I agree, Max, holding the Boise State Broncos to around 30 points, maybe less. And the San Jose State defense is definitely capable of doing so.
Yeah, we've seen time in, time out, Viumali, Falohoco, Cade Hall, coming in and making sure the quarterbacks are on the blue turf and not, running around. And then also, Trey Jenkins making some crazy interceptions. So this might be the first time that the secondary does get tested in terms of just going for the deep ball. We haven't seen that too much because, I think a lot of the teams that we faced, that San Jose State's faced, it's more of like 10 to 15-yard passes. So I expect like 20 to 25. I think Boise State's going to try to test that secondary early, which, especially the cornerbacks, Nehemiah Shelton, they haven't been really tested. We haven't seen them, how they play man-to-man coverage. So I think you're going to see a lot of that. And then with 30%, I know 30% capacity, I believe, Mr. Carlson, with fans. So it's going to be a little interesting because San Jose State hasn't been in that environment. This is their only road game outside of the state of California, and we know how strict the guidelines are here in our state. So it's going to be unique, I think, but also I think the players will enjoy just having some normalcy that they've been used to since playing Pop Warner. So it should be interesting to see on Saturday afternoon.
Spartans have had a little bit of a break. No game last week against Fresno State. No Valley Trophy. So, Candace, how will that fare for them this week? And Boise State has a game on the Spartans in terms of playing last week. They were at Hawaii, I believe, and they won that one 40-32 just last Saturday. So Boise State has been consistently playing. San Jose State goes a week without a game. How will that fare for the Spartans?
Well, I caught the press conference, and I know Coach Brennan was talking about how it really didn't feel, that off, that they hadn't had a game in. They still had like their regular Friday where they, lifted, light practice Saturday, and then a regular Sunday. But I think the biggest thing is just, keeping the energy up. I think definitely not being on the field, it does have some impact. So, definitely going against like Boise State, they're a high scoring team and they're solid all around and they're going to have that home field advantage. So I think definitely, being focused, limiting turnovers is going to be important, and getting that ball going and, making it happen, being aggressive, which I feel like the Spartans have done a really good job this season. They've been aggressive. They've been unapologetic. So I think if we continue to see more of that, then they'll be able to hold up against Boise State.
And they'll be excited to get back out there, back to playing in a high-level football game. The Spartans' last contest came on November 14th at home against UNLV in a 34-17 win. Max Miller was 1 point off the prediction win for that week. But that's okay. Gio took the win. But you have a chance to redeem yourself this week, Max, with the Spartans against Boise State Saturday at 1 p.m. Let's jump right into predictions, starting with Derek.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game. Boise State, they have a great junior running back, Andrew Van Buren. First career 100-yard rushing game, 113 yards in Hawaii. And I think we all should be in Hawaii right now. Let's just face it. That's a good Thanksgiving weather, game day weather. But I think, unfortunately, the Spartans are going to lose. It's not due to the cancellation of the game. I think Boise, they have so much momentum. They did lose to BYU, who's in the college football playoff conversation. So I'm going to go with Broncos 24 and Spartans 17. It's going to be really close, though. It's not going to be like 500-yard passing game or anything like that. So you're going to see a balance of offense and defense in this one. But the streak continues for Boise State. They'll be 15-0 against the Spartans, 24-17.
Yeah, Derek, I'm a little bit more, positive on this end. I think it's going to be tough. I really do see a lot of scenarios where Boise State wins. But I think just the narrative of San Jose State season is end the streaks. All the losing streaks against every team, they've come through and competed, and they've shown why they're not fake. But this is the key game. This is the turning point of the season. It can go one of two ways, and I'm hoping for San Jose State win. Like you said, they got to stop the run. That's been the big thing. I think right now it's really once they get down to the red zone. Yes, San Jose State's red zone defense has been tremendous, but preventing Boise State from getting to the red zone is going to be key, and stopping Van Buren is going to be part of that. I don't think there's going to be many turnovers. The spread does have it as Boise State is the 11.5-point favorite. However, not only am I taking San Jose State to cover, I'm saying they're going to win 28-24. And I think it's going to be a very, very close game. And I think we could see Nick Starkel game-winning drive, under 2 minutes. Lots of good plays, and I think they're down, 21-24, and they get the job done on a late drive, and we see Bailey Gaither catch that game-winner, or Trey Walker with a great touchdown. Maybe even Derek Deese. One of the three is going to get that game-winner. And I think we could see it's going to be a huge game. 1 p.m. Saturday on Fox, not Fox Sports Network. It's CBS, but it's Fox. The game of the week right now, gents and ladies. And this is the big game, and I'm hoping for San Jose State wins. San Jose State 28, Boise State 24.
I'm going to have to agree with Derek and say that Boise State's going to pull through on this one, although I am still rooting for the Spartans. But I just feel like, Boise State is such like a solid team. And like he mentioned, they do have that momentum of, playing that last game, which the Spartans weren't able to do. So, yeah, I think also they have, that home field advantage, like I had mentioned earlier. So I think they're going to pull through. I think the Spartans can do a better job at holding them, definitely because the defense has been stronger. But overall, I want to say 35-21 Boise State.
I'm going to agree with Max on this one. I think the Spartans will pull it out. I think playing in front of any fans, whether you're home or away, gives you a little bit of energy. And I like Max's narrative of this is the season of breaking the streaks. Last time the Spartans started a season 4-0 was 1955. Let's push it back even further to 1939 when the Spartans last went 5-0 to start. That season, of course, they finished 13-0. I think they're going to continue the streak here. San Jose State 4-0, Boise State 4-0 in the conference. My prediction, San Jose State takes it in Boise 31-28. I'd like to see a Matt Mercurio game-winning field goal. I think that'd be awesome.
Hey, Selena. Sorry, Ryan. Selena's, you got to throw in some Selena's love. And by the way, before we end this video, we got to congratulate our advisor, one of our role models, Mark Purdy, who just got inducted into the San Jose Sports Hall of Fame last night. So that's a huge accomplishment. And I know he's probably just like, it's no big deal. But Mark, thank you for paving the way for all of us. Without you, none of us would probably be covering San Jose State sports or Bay Area sports in general. So thank you for paving the way to the legend, and we'll continue to stay on top of our game, sir.
Indeed. Congrats to Mark Purdy, another feather in his cap. One of many. He's got a very well-deserved award, San Jose Sports Hall of Fame, Mark Purdy, and he's helped us out a lot at San Jose State as an adjunct professor, as he likes to be called. But we got an even split here, even playing field in terms of predictions. 2 of us for Boise State, 2 of us for San Jose State. And a lot of talk has gone around saying this is the game of the Brent Brennan era, but it's also probably the biggest game in recent Spartan history. And we will see how the Spartans fare up north in Boise State. Last thoughts before we end the video and before the game this Saturday.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. It's a Wednesday when we're recording this. Happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving on Saturday when the Spartans get the win. It's going to be a great day, and, enjoy your football. Stay safe. Please stay home. Have Thanksgiving over Zoom. I want this to be over. We all want this to be over. Traveling, and happy Thanksgiving. We appreciate the love on the YouTube side, and thanks to everybody, and go Spartans this weekend.
Yeah, Max, you hit the nail right in the button. But Max wants this to be over so he can talk more trash about his 27, 25, 20, whatever, how many number of championships they won during his lifetime, the New York Yankees. But in all seriousness, thank you guys so much for your love and support. It's been a tough year for all of us, not just student journalists, but all of us in general. So we really appreciate your support, your feedback, your diehard support of the Spartans. It should be a fun game on Saturday. Remember, 1 p.m. kickoff on Fox, not Fox Sports 1, FS2, foxsports.com, Fox. So, and we really appreciate your support. And by the way, rest in peace to the late, great Diego Maradona, legendary soccer player from Argentina, who unfortunately passed away earlier this morning. Scored the goal of the century in 1986 against England. So 1986 World Cup. So rest in peace, Diego.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you guys and everyone watching. It's definitely been, a rough year. So, definitely a lot to think about, at the table or over Zoom, have those nice conversations with friends and family. Hope everyone stays safe. This is going to be a really interesting, exciting game for the Spartans. So I'm looking forward to it. And I hope you guys enjoy your day with your family and friends.
That it will be. Yes, we hope you had a great Thanksgiving and are enjoying your Thanksgiving week with family and whoever you might be spending it with, in person or over Zoom. And we hope you enjoy the Spartan football game. You should be able to catch it on the national Fox station, and deservedly so. Boise State versus San Jose State. It's going to be the game of the season and have some bowl game implications for sure. So keep your eye out for that 1 p.m. kickoff. It should be fun. Thanks again for all your support on YouTube and for being a routine watcher of our Spear football preview show. We'll see you next week where we break down the game and preview the next one against Hawaii. Almost to the end of the season, almost to the end of the year. Stay safe and stay healthy, everybody.